Today's class we are going to learn how to do a glaze transfer, and we're going to turn them into coasters. So if you decide to do the circle, you can go ahead and guide your perfect circle by tracing out one of the cups provided in class. After you've drawn the circle on the newsprint paper that I will have for you, you're then going to see that the coaster is a little bit smaller, but that's because it gives enough stretch and shrinkage after we fire our clay. So I've also got these needle tip bottles that I filled up with the Stroke and Coat glaze. I've inserted a clothespin inside just so it doesn't clog. I've got some paintbrushes and a plate with some glaze. So you're going to design something inside of this space, whether you choose a square or you choose a circle. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to design something simple within the circle. And I'm first going to do it in pencil, just in case I need to erase anything. After I agree with my pencil lines, I'm going to go ahead and grab the needle tip, and go over those pencil lines. All right, next I'm going to go ahead and fill in the center with some patterns. All right, I have completed my design. Now I need to make sure that it's completely dry. I'm going to go ahead and grab a blow dryer to help me speed up the process. Okay, so my design is completely dry. As you can see, it's changed in color and the back side is a little wrinkled. Now I'm going to go ahead and paint a color for the background of my design. So we're working backwards and you'll see what I mean. The black lines after I flip it over, it's kind of like those tattoos that you get when you're a little kid, that you put water on the other side of the paper and it sticks to your skin. It's a similar process. So I'm painting a white background. I've decided to add a little bit of color, so I'm going to go ahead and do yellow in between the whites. All right, once again, I'm going to go ahead and blow dry my painting because it needs to be completely dry. Now it's completely dry or close to being dry. I'm going to add a little bit more heat. Now it looks a little bit more dry. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut out my painting. And next, you're going to go ahead and grab your cup of slip and a fan brush. I've got my slab ready to go. This is going to be where I transfer my design onto. It's a pretty thick slab because it's supposed to be a coaster. Okay, so now our slip is going to work as our glue. I've got my rib tool, and you'll see why I'll need that. Go ahead and do a nice even coat of the slip, brushing everything on in one direction. And then once you've done one full layer, you'll brush on the slip in the other direction. So you can go horizontal all the way through for one coat, and then you can brush on vertically. Okay, I've went ahead and I've done an even coat. Now, as you can see, my slip is very wet still. You want to go ahead and dry it with the blow dryer, not to get it as dry as the glaze, but until it gets kind of like a matte finish. And I'll explain why that's important. So as you can see, the slip is not reflecting light as much. It's a little bit more matte. It's not as shiny. But you don't want to overdo it. You don't want your slip to crack and change in color. So here I'm grabbing my rib tool and I'm peeling off my painting. I have my slab ready to go. You are going to flip your design over, slip side onto the slab, slip side down. With your rib tool, you're going to firmly press it onto your slab. Try to be firm, press down, and get even pressure throughout your design. Still feels kind of wet to me, so I'm going to go ahead and dry it a little bit. And this ensures that the glaze unsticks from the paper and sticks onto the slip, onto the slab. Once you think you're ready, you can go ahead and begin to peel, and your transfer should stick to the slab. In that case, mine didn't stick completely because it was still very wet, so I'm going to go ahead and dry it a little bit more. I'm going to check the bottom to see if this side stuck better. It looks like it's still a little wet, but I'm going to go ahead and peel the rest so you can see. Okay, I can always go back in and fix anything that didn't transfer. Smooth out the slip line. So you can see I've got my design that I've transferred onto my clay. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut out my coaster. Have a nice clean outer edge. You don't want to leave it too sharp. Smooth out your edges, and then you see